Brandon Cutler here from AEW, and I hope you guys have an awesome podcast with the MonsterCast.
What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful here. You're watching the MonsterCast with Jack and Ryan. A big shout out to those fellas. Good people. Check them out.
Here's your hosts of the MonsterCast, the Straightedge Monster, Jack and Ryan.
Hello everybody, I am the Straightedge Monster, and this is 8-Bit Hobo Farmer right here. We are here with the MonsterCast Royal Rumble post-show discussion. That was a show. Yep. What do you think, Guy?
It was something. I will give it that.
Let's just go in order. I guess the first match was, I don't even fucking remember. What was the first match?
The Men's Royal Rumble.
Yes, okay. The Men's Royal Rumble.
Yes, that's what kicked us all off.
The chalk event of the year. Of course, I'll have the podcast tomorrow, but obviously Ryan, my co-host for the MonsterCast, was correct in picking Cody. The Rock did not show up, as Triple H alluded to in his last question that he was asked on the post-event media scrum press conference thing that they're trying to do now. So Cody wins. Cody comes out at number 30. Yep. Shocking to no one after 29, obviously. I'm saying, like, what the hell is going on? So Cody talked about a little bit after in his press conference thing about, you know, one of the first time he was about to cry about about the pop that he got, and it was so emotional. Wouldn't it have been more emotional if they didn't give us all this bullshit leading up to it and just gave us the surprise return of Cody?
Yeah, I could have done without several video packages and just had him come out. Massive pop. Would have been great.
I do not understand if that's what we were going to go for the entire time, and you knew he was going to come out at number 30, and you knew he was going to get a huge pop when he came out. Why run it into the ground and basically tell us that he's going to win it before the Royal Rumble even starts?
Yeah, and like you said, while we were watching the show, you might have the Lex Luger effect where everybody's going to start hating you because they're forcing it down your throat. It's not cool. I would have rather just seen him come out with a big pop. Crowd goes crazy. Yeah, sure, he's at 30, but that's fine. You know, would have been better.
I think the only way that this works in the short term is if they just keep Cody on Raw and don't have him go over to SmackDown and cut the same fucking promo 30 times leading up to WrestleMania and let the Roman Sammy thing play out, because obviously what happened. We'll talk about that in a minute. But let that go ahead and develop the way that it's going to develop leading up to WrestleMania. So that way no one's just booing Cody by the time WrestleMania comes because he's told you the same thing 80 times in 30 different promos that were all essentially copy pasta, and then everybody just is going for Reigns to keep the title instead. Since we're not going to get The Rock now, and it doesn't look like we're going to get Austin. But yeah, Cody winning. Anything else stand out in the Men's Royal Rumble? Obviously, Gunther had a really strong run. He was there at the end. He was in the final 3.
Yeah, him being in there from number 1. That was good. The Logan Paul, Ricochet, Splat, I guess would be the best way to say that.
It was basically, it was the modern version of Warrior and Hogan when they were in the Rumble and they did the first ever double clothesline thing. Yeah. And they did springboard clotheslines and just hit the fuck out of each other. Yeah,
that was a splat. But yeah, a lot of the chops and the hard hitting from the Bros of Bang.
Yeah.
Oh, that should have been
Pat
trending.
McAfee. That was like the best part of the show, right? Pat McAfee coming
trending,
back.
Yes. His commentary with Michael Cole was spot on.
Yeah, it was pretty cool that they didn't even tell Michael Cole that he was coming either, or that he didn't tell anybody, and it was a genuine surprise from Michael Cole, so that was pretty cool. Okay, so after that, we had, I believe, the Alexa Bliss Bianca match. No, we didn't. We had the Pitch Black match.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into this shit, all right?
Wasn't an utter train wreck, thankfully.
I mean,
it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was better than we thought it was going to be, but here's the deal. Still not knowing what the rules of the Pitch Black match was, LA Knight comes out first in bright ass yellow, and I was like, man, he doesn't usually wear bright yellow like that. Then Bray comes out, and he looked a little different, right? Because he had
big guy with the dark eye.
Yeah, the dark eyes. Yeah, looking like Blue Meanie or Mantar or whatever the hell he was trying to go for. So he comes out, and then when they do the match, they just literally all it is black light. It's a black light match. Everything is black lit. The ropes, LA Knight's gear. Bray Wyatt borrowed some shit from Jeff Hardy for his body, and then had the contacts in the red contacts. It was a quick match. Apparently, people in attendance were not fans because they couldn't really see it. We could see it better on TV. Now, the match itself was not great. It was very short, but like he said, like Hobo Farmer said, it wasn't a total train wreck. So, could have been a lot worse. And here at the Royal Rumble get-together that I did, everybody had a pitch black in their hand, and every time they showed the pitch black logo or mentioned pitch black or had a pun about pitch black, we had to take a sip of the Mountain Dew pitch black.
Whole can gone by the end of that little short match.
It wasn't even. We couldn't even do it with the replays at the end. Mine was already gone. So that was pretty funny. Then it was the Alexa Bliss Bianca match. The Alexa Bliss Bianca match was pretty.
I'm not going to talk about any of the Mr. Howdy crap after the.
No, I mean, why?
Wyatt thing.
Why? For what? I mean, all they did was write LA Knight off TV.
The horrible, like, I'm gonna miss you.
Oh yeah, he completely missed. But
so clear.
I feel like the whole reason for it was to write LA Knight off of TV anyway, because he had to deal with Bray Wyatt. There's no reason for you to bring LA Knight back now because it's going to make Bray Wyatt look not as strong. The whole point of this was to make this was Bray Wyatt's first match. Yeah, Bray Wyatt's first match back. Uncle Howdy jumping off the thing, completely missing him, but going through it or whatever with all the theatrics and shit. So this is clearly to write LA Knight off, possibly till they do the draft, depending on if they do the draft early this year after WrestleMania. I don't know. Maybe he moves over to Raw or something instead. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but he's clearly being written off right now. The thing I want to talk about with the Bianca-Alexa match is because obviously it was weird that you had the Bray match first because she is connected to Bray Wyatt with all the stuff that she has been doing with the moth stuff and everything popping up and the Uncle Howdy showing up for her as well during the whole Bianca storyline. But going into this, I called it, I said it, we said it on the show, I believe on the prediction show as well, that Alexa was definitely not winning this match and it was supposed to help push her to what she needed to become to be the evil thing with Uncle Howdy and whatever the hell Bray Wyatt's got going on. However, when we get to the end, and yes, Bianca beats her pretty soundly, we don't get the full turn still. Why? Yeah. Why don't we still get the full turn? I don't understand.
I don't know. It's like they want to, but it's like they just keep stalling it. I hope they're not going to run into a situation where they stall it out so much that nobody cares.
Yeah, well, the slow burn only works for so long. And only in certain situations, which we'll get to in the main event, obviously, because we actually did get some clarification on that. Next up was... what was the next one? The men's? I mean, the women's?
Yeah, it was the women's.
Yeah, so it was the women's and then the women. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I know you want to talk about the music. Okay, you want to talk about the music. We don't have to. You want to talk about the music. We're going to bring up the music. Whatever the hell country rock is, we're going to bring that up. No, I don't care. We'll bring up the country.
Asian girl that was like, woohoo!
She was feeling it. She was feeling it for sure. All right, so the women's Royal Rumble, which I enjoyed more than the men's. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, it was a lot better structured and paced than what the men's was.
The only thing I will say, and I tweeted it out, was a lot of the women, I guess, thought they were going to be in the pitch black match when they came into the arena because they were all wearing fucking neon green and purple and yellow.
Purples, yellows, pinks.
At one point in the match, you literally couldn't tell who was who, to the point that when Io Sky came out, also in neon gear, she went to go hit Dakota Kai and had to stop herself because she couldn't tell the fucking people apart.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was a problem. Maybe we need to get on the same page with our gear going forward in those types of situations.
Also, the amount of suck it signs.
Oh, yes.
Show
everybody.
Was just ridiculous.
Everybody did the suck it sign. Pat McAfee started it off. Yeah. He did it when he came out.
Insane.
So it was Pat McAfee, Rhea Ripley did it, Kevin Owens did it.
Nia Jax did it at one point.
Nia Jax did it. Yeah. It was crazy. Oh, what do we think about Nia Jax coming back?
It's a thing. Came back before the countdown, that's for sure.
Yeah,
they already botched it.
They botched the botcher's return. That's crazy to me.
I think my biggest letdown from that was, like we had talked about during the show, was Asuka coming back.
Oh no! Well, I mean, it wasn't.
Like,
she had the lull.
Great.
Yeah,
It's just like nothing really happened. Like,
Yeah,
she come in House of Fire and didn't do anything.
Yeah, the amount of distance between Asuka and the rest of the women's division is definitely still there. Her speed is by far better than everybody else's. Her in-ring work is by far a lot more crisp than everybody else's. But yeah, she'd come back as the Kana character, basically.
The Kana character, that was amazing.
Yeah, so then she had the Blue Mist. Yeah, that was sick. The Blue Mist at the end, she was in the final 3, so they gave her the push.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give her the win or anything, but they gave her the push to be in the final 3. But there was a point in the match where she was just kind of getting beat on by everybody, and it was like
she stayed in the corner a lot. You could see her just kind of down there, just sitting.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna bring her back and you weren't gonna do nothing with her, you should have brought her back later in the Rumble, instead of just sitting in the fucking Rumble not doing anything. Because with that character, she should have been destroying everybody constantly.
I think she was 17 or something. She was somewhere in the middle of the pack.
Let's see. Then of course we had Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, right? So Rhea Ripley wins the whole thing from number 1. Liv was number 2, so they were both there at the end. They were also the last two. Rhea eliminated Liv to eventually win it after Asuka blinded Liv with the Blue Mist, and then Rhea took her over the top after a close call when you thought Liv might win it. So Liv looks strong. Asuka looks technically strong in the end, and then of course Rhea Ripley now has a hard decision to make between Charlotte and Bianca Belair because she has history with both. Every time she's in the ring with Bianca, it's really fucking good. It's one of those people she has a lot of chemistry with.
Very crisp and clean.
Yeah, and then of course they had the ending to that one Royal Rumble that Bianca won, where it was like one of the best endings to a Royal Rumble. And then, of course, she had the whole thing with Charlotte twice. She had it where she was, I think it was the Survivor Series where the NXT people were involved, and she was in that.
Yeah, I think so.
And then it got to the point where when Charlotte won the Rumble, she went after Rhea Ripley's NXT title, so that Rhea was at WrestleMania, and then it eventually was Charlotte beat her for the NXT title because that was the one title that Charlotte didn't have yet.
Which is that was the crowdless.
Yes, that was the one in Tampa.
The first one.
Yeah. So that happened. So now she's got to decide if she wants to go try to avenge her loss to Charlotte at WrestleMania, again at WrestleMania, and by doing so, if she does, she'll become a Grand Slam champion because she's already won the NXT and the Raw Women's title, and she hasn't won the SmackDown one. So she can do that, or she can stay with the Judgment Day on Raw and go after Bianca, who she also has a long history with, and try to avenge her Royal Rumble loss that took her out of that main event the year prior to the Charlotte thing. Or the year after, one or the other. But anyway, so what do you think she should go? What would you rather see? Would you rather see her versus Bianca or her versus Charlotte?
I mean, I guess from her standpoint as a character, I would like to see the redemption with Charlotte.
But because she's a heel.
Yeah. It wouldn't make any sense because Charlotte's...
You can't ever tell what Charlotte is. Charlotte's supposed to be a face right now, but you can't ever tell because she gets booed out the building. And then, of course, the...
But I will say from the press conference, though, it did seem like they weren't really playing to the kayfabe too much.
Depending on the question.
Yeah, because it seemed like Rhea was being real nice for somebody that's supposed to be in Judgment Day heel mode.
Yeah. Well, I think she'll probably go after Bianca.
Probably.
I think. But...
Like I said, it would make sense storyline-wise just because they've been feuding already, supposedly.
Yeah, who else is Bianca going to go against?
Yeah, and she's already with Judgment Day there on Raw, so they...
Yeah, I agree. Charlotte still has the thing with Sonya if she wants it. They're supposed to fight on SmackDown coming up. And then she can move on to either Shayna or Rousey again because I'm sure they're going to want to set that up because Rousey is a moneymaker for them, even though, whatever. I mean, it's the truth.
Oh, I know.
So we'll see what happens with that. But I do think that she goes against Bianca just because Bianca's kind of beat everybody on Raw right now. All right, and then, of course, we get to the main event, which is Owens and Reigns, which we all knew what the outcome was going to be. the title wasn't going to change hands at a Royal Rumble after having that title all that time. This is only a title that can change hands at WrestleMania, especially with Cody winning the opening men's Royal Rumble match. So, Roman wins, but interesting development afterwards. Like I was talking about what they should have done with the Alexa Bliss thing, where they need to move the story along so we can get there instead of just bits and pieces where it doesn't make any sense. I don't want a long, slow burn with something like that because that doesn't make any sense because we already know where that's going. On the Bloodline storyline, we don't know where that's going. So when it got to the point where we're like, okay, I noticed that his shirt was cut at the top when it came out, and I had said something about, hey, maybe he has a Kevin Owens shirt under there, or maybe an old shirt where they were both on there from Ring of Honor or something, who knows. Or you said...
Yeah, I was like, maybe
Oos.
it could have been an Oos shirt, and then we said it could have been a referee thing when the referee spot happened.
Yeah,
so
but we knew something was happening with the shirt. Well, come to find out, it's because Roman tore it off of him because Sammy fucking turned on him. So after the match, they after Sammy did what Roman said reluctantly, Roman gets the win, and then after the match, he has the Usos handcuff him up, and then they super kick partied his ass like the Young Bucks. And then he was going to hit him with the chair, but Sami Zayn stepped in front of him. Standing, everyone's standing, 50,000 people standing, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Like, you could literally see how focused everybody was on this. Is something about to happen? Which was crazy. That's how good the storyline is. So, he says, okay, well, if you're going to stand in my way, here's your final test. Here's the chair. You do it. So, he's about to go do it, and he's about to hit Kevin Owens with the chair, and then all of a sudden, Roman takes a step up a little bit out of the way, and then when Sammy goes to swing, he hits Roman. Yeah. So Roman goes down, just like he did when Seth hit him with the chair and the shield. Looks betrayed. Of course, Jimmy Uso loses his shit. Jimmy Uso starts just destroying him in the head, like punching him. And then Sikoa shoves him off, and you're thinking, oh shit, maybe Sikoa's going to step in. Nope, Sikoa started beating the shit out of him too. So then they're all beating him up. And then Jay, when he was instructed by Roman to get in on the action, what the hell are you doing? Why are you just sitting there? Jay decided to get out of the ring and walk away to a huge applause because, if you remember correctly, at the beginning of this whole Bloodline thing, when he tried to get the Usos on his side to become this one thing after he got Heyman and turned heel, Jay was the one that was reluctant and was having the main event matches while Jimmy was out with injury. So now it's all coming full circle, and Jay remembers that and all the torture that he went through with Roman and sees what he was doing with Sammy and was like, fuck it, I'm not going to stand for this, and left. So that kind of sets up a lot of potential things here. You can have a 6-man tag at Elimination Chamber between Roman, Solo, and Jimmy versus Jay, Kevin, and Sami Zayn, which is what I think they might do, and then maybe Jay turns there. Because I think what we're setting up for is obviously Owens and Sami Zayn to take the titles off the Usos at WrestleMania. But I'm not quite sure because we don't really know what direction they want to go with Sami because he's a big deal right now. And Jay was a big deal when he was a single star for that short, brief time, while Roman was gone and Jimmy was hurt. Fucking Jay was in the main event a lot. So it's going to be interesting to see how much they push the different sides of both teams, or if they just kind of, it's like a 2-3 week thing or Elimination Chamber thing, and then it all switches back, and now it makes sense. It's Sami and Owens versus the entire Bloodline. Or is there still a glimmer of hope of The Rock coming in, which I don't think there is anymore. But there was also a lot of people saying online that, hey, maybe Jay's about to go make a call to The Rock and be like, hey, you need to come get your boy because he's fucking everything up type deal. He's let the power go to his head. So I don't know. I don't think that's what it is. But you cannot deny that this is by far the most exciting storyline in WWE in probably 10 years. Whenever the hell the Daniel Bryan thing was, honestly. It's probably the most entertaining storyline since that. What did you think about them pulling the trigger at Royal Rumble? Because we all thought something might happen because it was going on last. But do you think that was the right call in front of all those people? And why did they make that call, but not the call with the Alexa Bliss storyline change? It could have been a lot more memorable, don't you think, if they would have had the Alexa Bliss thing and that to call back to?
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with the Alexa Bliss thing. I don't think they know what they're doing.
They might not know what they're doing with the Bloodline thing either.
True, but it does seem like it was more planned out. Because there was a lot of spots there where at the very end looked like Roman kept moving in the way of Sammy. And that's why I kept saying, oh, is he going to hit him in the back like fucking Shield style here? You know, because that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, that's what happened. But yeah, I mean, it does open up the potential tag team trios match. It opens up a lot of avenues and furthers the story. But yeah, I don't see it going probably past Elimination Chamber or the next pay-per-view. I don't think it's gonna have that much legs on it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a letdown for some people that are so emotionally invested in it because Sammy is such a big star now, and it's gonna be like after all that, and he turns on Roman. Now you're gonna just put him in a tag team match at WrestleMania. He should be a lot higher than that.
And he's gonna get lost in the shuffle and just go back to being where he was.
Yeah, but Sammy is not. Sammy wasn't in the Royal Rumble. Cody won the Royal Rumble, so there's nothing you can really do about it. And maybe that's what they were thinking, like not even put Sammy in that position in the Royal Rumble because everybody's going to want to see him win, which I think made sense. So there's no doubt about it. Cody's going to WrestleMania against whoever, which is obviously going to be Roman. And then we'll see if he only goes after the WWE Championship, the one title that eludes his family that he was talking about, because that's the one he wants.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, it makes more sense. And then the Universal title, which is the one that Roman's held forever, he can still have that. So that also makes sense. So if you wanted him to lose to Cody and then keep going and then potentially be against Sami Zayn one-on-one and potentially lose that title to Sami, then okay, I get that. But I don't know how far into the future that would be and how far they want to run the storyline, because it's definitely not run until SummerSlam. So WrestleMania is going to be where a lot of this officially unfolds. Overall, grade-wise, A, B, C, D, E, F. Royal Rumble, your grade, sir?
Probably B minus.
B minus.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a... oh, shit. Give it a C+. How about that? The Women's Royal Rumble was way better than the men's. The men's did have some good spots in it. The Alexa Bliss-Bianca match was too predictable, and the Pitch Black match was not anything. It was better than what we expected, but the bar was so low. So no, I'm not gonna give you credit for that. And then of course the final match was also super predictable, but I did like the storyline at the end. But that's not really what I tune into pay-per-views for. I tune into pay-per-views for really good matches, because those are the matches that are supposed to be the build-up, the payoffs and stuff. And this was more of a continuation thing. And for that to be the case on a one of the 4 main pay-per-views, I got to give you a little discredit on that. Those are supposed to be things that are finalities, except for the Royal Rumble matches. Those are the things that are supposed to be catapulting new stories, not all the other stuff that happened. So you still got no clear-cut answer on what we're doing with the Roman Sami Zayn thing, even though we have a huge step in the story, but we still don't have a clear-cut thing. And then the Alexa Bliss thing that also happened with Bianca, no clear-cut story either. So then you've got 4 no clear-cut stories coming out of Royal Rumble out of 5 matches. And I mean, really 5 if you want to say, where the fuck does Bray Wyatt go from here too, because we already know LA Knight has been written off, and we still don't know anything new about Uncle Howdy besides now that he's Jeff Hardy jumping off of shit. So I don't really know what the fuck's going on with that either. So really you have a lot coming out of Royal Rumble with more questions than answers. Never really a good sign when it's one of your 4 pay-per-views. So I'll give it a C+, which is still pretty good, honestly. Compared to last year, it was a lot better, I think.
Yeah, mine was, I give it a B minus, just because, like, personal pops factored in. Because I popped for Asuka coming out in the Kana. That was awesome.
Not a lot of surprises in the Rumbles.
No, that was disappointing.
Yeah, I give it a C+ for that too, because
and then shout out to Zelina Vega, the jury costume.
Yeah,
that popped right there. But I guess really the Women's Royal Rumble match and all the stuff at the very end of the pay-per-view, that was what kind of moved it into that. I wouldn't have gone any higher because there was so much letdowns on everything else.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of meh, and then I don't want to talk about the awful performance of the song. I do, but I don't.
Oh, yeah, the song. Yeah, you do want to talk about it.
No, I don't.
So Hardy, that was a terrible live performance. I don't know what the hell country rock is.
He may be a great somewhere. I don't know, but yeah, that
We know for sure that one fan enjoyed it, so I mean,
yeah, that
I guess that's
performance
what
was not good. Mainly because of I guess the setup they had running or whatever. His mic was like off. His key was off. It was just like you could tell something wasn't as crisp and clean as it should be. And that they had parts where it looked like it was.
Yeah.
And that was mainly on the chorus track.
Yeah.
So
unless they just set it up to only be good on that track. So that's why that part always sounded good.
I
And
mean,
the
maybe
actual verses were
maybe
terrible.
he's better, in studio musician than what he is.
Everybody's a better
live-
in studio.
live
Everybody's a better
studio.
in studio. I'm a better post show.
No,
I'm a better post show
no, we're not doing
with
that.
the editing and shit. I'm better post show than I am live too. So I mean,
Yeah.
part of it is because of that dog that's fucking bothering you right now.
Yep.
But anyway, that'll do it for the post show Royal Rumble 2023. You give it a B minus. I give it a C plus, and hopefully next year they up it, and maybe WrestleMania will end up being better than last year's. We'll see.
See if we get another pitch black match or two.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it. Keep that one in the bag of tricks.